Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rokah Kodash. I'm going to give double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and salutations and much love to the rest of you sincere Aki and pushing the word in truth and sincerity. This is the cleric Izar coming at you with another lesson. I am continuing in my lot to bring you my ongoing series from excerpts of Hollywood, This Factory of Reverseness, and other observation of predictive programming, how art imitates life and vice versa. Just a reminder, the purpose of my videos is to show correlations. A correlation is an observation of a mutual relationship or connection between two or more things. I use movies to extract or extrapolate a narrative. I'm not glorifying the Hollywood culture or life. I have a wide knowledge of films, whether they be foreign or domestic, and I just use them as an example to bring out similarities and those correlations. To quote Cecil B. DeMille, the greatest source of material for motion pictures is the Bible. I call this lesson, a good woman is hard to find. I think we've heard this saying before. And when this movie came out, I guess the producers or the writers of this particular film knew what we were facing in the future, I guess. The image I have on display is from a film I watched in my past, or my youth. Of course, being this truth, I reflected on this particular movie. This movie was released on February 1988. The title of it is Cherry 2000, directed by Steve Desjarnette. Basically, let me just get right into it. Basically, it's in the future, a post-apocalyptic movie. And in this time, there's fembots. I'm not sure if I'm using the right term. Basically, female sex toys. And they're basically just like robots, and they do like, the cooking and the cleaning, and I guess you can have sex with them as well. And I thought it was very absurd when I was a kid, because I was, still young, and, I don't even think I had I guess I had a girlfriend up to this point, but I was still kind of young. I didn't really know what I was doing compared to what I know now. But basically, this man had a Cherry 2000, which was a female sex bot, I should say, and it went bad on him. So he had to go get a new one. And surprisingly, as you can see on this tagline on the poster, it's in the year 2017, a good woman is hard to find. A Cherry 2000 is even harder. And this guy set up on this particular quest to go replace his sex bot. And let me read this synopsis. You can get this on Wikipedia. In the year 2017, the United States has fragmented into post-apocalyptic wastelands with a few civilized areas. An ongoing economic crisis has led to the recycling of aging 20th century mechanical and technological equipment. Society has become averse to intimacy, as well as both increasingly hypersexualized and bureaucratic. Robotic technology has produced gynoids as substitutes for wives. So that's what the sex bots were, or the fembots. They're called gynoids and substitute for wives. The declining instances of actual sex among men and women is litigious, with one brothel having lawyers draft up contracts detailing the intended sexual rendezvous. And a young Lawrence Fishburne had played a person running one of these brothels, and how in this particular future, women and men had to draw up legal contracts just to go out on dates with one another. And it's practically what you practically need nowadays, because there's no guarantee what you're getting, with these women. You can't even get a simple date nowadays to ask their color or ask what their favorite music is. I mean, it's always some type of pushback from women, and you couldn't even be on the subject of sex, and they're already getting pushback. Or all the arguments about who's paying for what and so forth. You can be the guy that's paying for dinner, and still you don't get the respect that you deserve. But this is the time we're living in. All right. So basically, back to this film. I had to do some research, and I found even that the girl that played the Cherry 2000, or the female sex bot, her name was I think it was Pam. Let me see. Yeah, Pamela Gidley, and she had died at age 52. And that was just only, oh boy, I want to say, a couple years back in 2018. And they don't really detail why she passed, but it was kind of hard to believe. But the female that you see on the poster on the top left, that's Melanie Griffith. And I'm not sure some of you younger cats know, but Melanie Griffith was she was a famous actress back in the late 80s, early 90s, and she did all types of particular films that won her a Academy Award, or a nomination for Academy Award, which eventually won a Golden Globe. But she was well sought out actress, and she's not recognizable today. I mean, she's close to 64 years of age, But back to the particular film. This was one of the particular films that she really didn't favor compared to her other films that she did. But as you can see, I came across this film again in a documentary that came out a couple weeks back, and I was like, wow, I haven't heard of this film in a while, and I always knew I was going to do a video on this because of the female sex bots, and it's just unbelievable how many companies that are out now that actually sell these things. I mean, they're not as advanced as the one featured in this particular film, but it's a shame that we've gotten to this time that a man just wants a little rest, and instead of having a real female, he'll just have a plastic toy doll, get his rocks off. And it also says something too about the manufacturers, because the companies that are making these things, they know that there's a demand for them. Supply and demand. Like, just leading back to the title of this particular video, "Good Woman is Hard to Find." These companies know it, so they're filling that demand, because the man just wants rest when he gets home. But of course, it just shows you what time that we're living in. Because in Matthew chapter 24, verse 12, talks about, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And so that's the time that we're practically living in now, where lawlessness and sin has abound so greatly that the natural course of love is out of course, really. And that's the time that we're living in. And you'd be surprised how many women I come across that are claiming to be that Proverbs 31 virtuous woman. Proverbs 31 verse 10, who could find a virtuous woman for prices far above rubies? And that's a rare item. That's a rare stone. But, with the amount of women that are out here today, they think they qualify to be that virtuous woman. And they're not, doing half of what they need to be doing. Okay. But hey, that's the curses that we're under right now. So of course, this will all be corrected, once we get in the kingdom, where we have a woman that's going to be of noble character. Okay. But I'm just going to end it on this. I always like to end my videos on a good note with some type of silver lining, and there is light at the end of the tunnel. So in other words, there is a happy ending. When you go into the book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 14, it reads, "Houses and riches are the inheritance of fathers, and a prudent wife is from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai." Okay, it's from the Lord. Okay, a prudent wife, and that same woman of noble character, and a woman that is there to do her work and do her job, or her job that she was intended to do. Okay, and there's still good women out there. It's just so small and far in between, just like in Proverbs 31 verse 10 suggests. Okay, it's practically a riddle, because it's such a rarity. Okay, and it's something to be found, but it's not something that we're supposed to be pursuing at this particular moment, in this particular time period of that we're living in. When you read Proverbs chapter 18, verse 22, it states, "Whoso findeth a wife finding a good thing, and obtain a favor of the Lord," or obtain a favor of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Okay. And it just happens if you just fall into one, hold on to her tight, because, like I said, there's not that many out there. And even when I look back to the stable women that I've had, there's only less than a handful. I can count on one hand that have actually come close to doing me okay. Okay. But I'm not sure we could find this film. It's actually a box office failure. They put a lot of money into this film. They put close to 10 million into it, only made 14,000 back. And I guess because this particular time period, it was so crazy. But when I think now in the time period we're living in, I guess a movie like this or a remake of this, and I want to say they were going to do a remake of this. It kind of resonates a little bit better now than it would back in the mid 80s. Okay. I just wanted to share that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, who gives me the strength and the spirit to continue to strive and endure in these last days. Shalom to the hopeful elect, and on to the next video.